My name is Michael Majakis. I'm an adjunct professor at both LIU Post as well as Hofstra University. I own a wellness coaching business called Majakis Wellness Coaching. We implement multidisciplinary approaches to health and wellness, everything from promoting sleep etiquette to proper food choices to the movement side. I was introduced to Loco Motion maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Initially just being introduced to ring training, hand balancing, some of the locomotion, acrobatics, and it was certainly different from what I was used to doing. A lot of times when you kind of grow up and do various training, most of it is very structured, machine type training, kind of hamster on wheel training, the closed environments, elliptical, treadmill, and so forth. But then when he started to introduce these modalities, from ring training to the hand balancing and so forth, I was kind of very intrigued by it. One of the specialty classes was the rings, and I was instantly drawn to it. I always liked just various hangs and kind of doing things that involve suspension, and I guess we started it last summer, and just watching the progression was incredible. Barely being able to do a skin the cat and hold that German hang, kind of based on all the force that it was on the body, to now being able to do routines, it was really, really nice. So about 10 years ago, I started to experience these bizarre, weird feelings, and I noticed that I started to get dizzy, and that dizziness turned into kind of full-blown vertigo. And when I went to the doctor, they diagnosed me with this condition called Meniere's disease. Every treatment was about medication. So if you have congestion in the ear, here's a water pill. If you have inflammation, here's prednisone. And there was no discussion on lifestyle. And something happened when I was shoveling snow and suffered this massive attack. And it was that moment that I went from going to the current protocols of medication to saying, you know what, I'm going to do anything that I can. And that was everything from manipulating all the things that I can control: sleep etiquette, what foods I put into my body, my social environment, my mindset, my attitude, my movement, all of those things that I just changed. And the moment I did that, everything got better. Everything didn't just go away, but everything got better. Going back to what I was saying with Loco Motion, I can do a lot of this on my own. I have the rings, I have the climbing rope, but it's something about coming to a place where you have that social support, that social construct, that community, and most importantly, that trust. Sometimes being a little bit inverted kind of freaked me out a little bit, so having that trust in this community, I just realized there was no way I was going to miss it. So my current goals are really to just continue to go on this health journey and to promote this multidisciplinary approach to health and wellness. And one of the great things about Loco Motion, it's not just the movement side, but it is that camaraderie, that rapport, that commonality, that trust that you have with, not just in the program as far as the trust, but also just the individuals, including Kevin and Bruce and Matt. If I were looking at it from a movement perspective, it would be to smooth out some of the flows and some of the ring routines. I introduced Loco Motion to my children, and I think it was a snowstorm back in maybe 2018 when my kids first came here. And they observed the rope and the monkey bars and the rings, and they were always somewhat intrigued by that. So when they were first introduced in 2018, they were kind of instantly hooked to playing. So I got rings for the house. I got a rope that you can climb up to the attic. So I would say in the short term and the long term for the kids would be to get them more actively involved. Just having that growth and development, being very active, but also doing that as a father, there's nothing more inspiring for me to see the kids do that. And I think this is the perfect environment, this very positive environment, where just seeing the other students in class and just seeing the instructors and just watching the interaction. Again, I'll go back to that camaraderie, that rapport, that commonality, and probably most importantly, trust. My journey through Loco Motion was kind of starting out, just being introduced to some of the modalities, and now not only myself, but my children are involved in it as well. It's nice.